William Davis, or do you like William Stanford Davis?
All my friends call me Stan, so
Stan, okay. Can I call you Stan?
you call me Stan.
Stan. You know, I was gonna get straight into it. You have won over everyone as the janitor, as Mr. Johnson.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and I think it's just such a testament to who you are because you're not new to this. You have over 100 credits
yeah,
directing, teaching.
yeah.
How is it when this is the moment where everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that's him," but you've been putting in all this work for so long?
Well, you know what they say about overnight success. You know, it's never overnight. First of all, and I had to give a shout out to late bloomers, man. You know, it's gonna come when it's gonna come if you're patient. You do your work, and not stare and look at the phone like I used to. I used to look at the phone. My wife is a talent manager, so every time the phone rang, I thought it was supposed to be for me. So, but man, it's been a journey. It's been a great journey. You know, I tell people I love being on Abbott Elementary. It's the biggest, event of my acting career. But I feel like if Abbott hadn't come along, it was still a good ride. It was still a nice journey. You know.
No, definitely. And just talking about like late bloomers, and because you're in this industry where it's not like you want overnight success, but after putting in the time, you want something. You
Yeah,
want
of
that one
course. Yeah,
role.
yeah.
What kept you going this long? Especially because you've been around, you yourself are a great actor, you yourself
Okay.
are a teacher and a director, and you've been around other people with accolades and different things. What kept you going? What kept you humble? What kept you hungry without ever feeling defeated?
Well, faith, first of all, whatever we want to call it, faith. I felt like as long as I did the work, something great would happen. You know, I immersed myself into the craft. I I just tried to stay as positive as I could during the lean and mean times because they get lean and mean and they could get lean and mean again. You know, this business is kind of fickle that way. But just faith. I surrounded myself with a lot of really good people to uh, to keep my focus not only on it, but to take my focus away from it. You know, sometimes you have to have other, not even sometimes, you have to have other interests. This has to be your main focus, but you have to have other interests. So I've got other interests. I got other hobbies to take me away from staring at the phone.
At that phone.
It was just that it's that knowing. You ever hear about the knowing? I knew that sooner or later something great was going to happen. Yeah.
Nice. Knowing, was there like a feeling with something bottling up? Is it that one of those things? Because I know there's all like a lot of when you talk to a lot of actors, they have like not superstitions, but there's this kind of like an itch, something's like things are lining up. What was that for you?
Yeah, that's it. You know, I did a series of recurring roles on a series of series, and some of them I worked in every episode. You
Yeah.
know, some of them I worked, maybe 8 out of 12 or 10 out of 12 if it was 12 episode series, and it just felt like, man, it's getting closer.
Yeah.
It's getting closer. People are noticing your work. Uh, you're making good inroads and connections and relationships in the casting communities, and people are starting to notice what you do. Just uh, hang in there, don't quit. And that's what I tell the young actors. I said, if you really love this, if this is something you really, really want to do, then you can't quit. You can't quit.
Nice. I love that. Especially being from St. Louis,
Yeah,
and joining in this industry that's tough, coming to LA.
yeah,
What is your origin story? How did you where did this love for acting? And I know you really got your start more so with theater first.
yeah, yeah.
So, let me know a little bit about that.
Well, growing up in St. Louis, man, it teaches you about hard work, preservation, perseverance, and tenacity. And I got that at a young age. That it was, my grandmother used to tell me. She said, "Take whip to your horses, boy. You got a long road to hoe." And she meant that, don't give up. You got a lot of hard work ahead of you, and once you start something, be committed to finishing it. Don't leave any pages unturned. And so I've tried to live my life that way. Sometimes I got a little off track, with different things, which we all do. But growing up in St. Louis, man, I started out. I've always been in some form of entertainment.
Yeah.
I used to DJ not only social club dances, but in nightclubs for adults, starting at the age of 14, 15.
Oh
You know,
wow.
then I was in a pop band in St. Louis that did very well. And then we took it on to I went to a school in mid Missouri called Lincoln University, which is you know, a big part of my life, man, a major part of my life, friends forever that I have there. And they've all been encouraging, but I kept that love for what I'm doing. I saw theater there that I thought, wow, I was too chicken. Can I say chicken shit? Chicken shit to get in the plays because I thought all the actors were so great, but it was something I always wanted to do. Before I went to Lincoln though, I went to Overbound out in the city. Are you from St. Louis? Is this from St. Louis?
No, I'm from LA.
Okay, you're from LA. Okay. Uh, there's a city near St. Louis, a suburb, Webster Groves, Webster College. I went there for their Overbound for 3 summers in a row. And I saw the Negro Ensemble Company do this play. And I just like was blown away, man. And I decided this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it. What do you love about acting, about theater, about entertainment? What is it that drives you every day to, go for the audition, weather the tough storms?
The craft itself, man, when you can, it's all make believe. Even if we're doing something biographical, it's still, the actor is playing a role. And just the magic of making that role come to life, of putting your own spin on, even if it's something that you've seen other actors do, like theater. There are a few plays that I've done that I've seen other actors do, and as amazing as they were, I decided to do it different, and people, gave me props for that. I just love. It's like being a mad scientist, putting all these ingredients, and really watching how it blossoms into something great. Like with Abbott, man, we have a stellar cast, man. I mean, just really, it's so much fun to be around. We enjoy being around one another. Everybody's having fun. Oh, we were nominated for 6 Critics' Choice Awards this morning.
Nice.
I'm really. I'm amazed at the work that I see them do. These young, especially the young, well, all of them, everybody's younger than me. So all of the young actors, and I just leave it at that. I'm amazed, man. I look at the work, and sometimes you don't see it when you're shooting it, and then you go back and look at it, and you go, "Oh my God!" These guys, they're really talented. So it's just watching it. Back to your original question, it's just watching it come together and something magical happens. And especially if you're doing theater where you can get the immediate gratification because they let you know. Yeah. They let you know right away. They let you know either with their applause or if it's a Black audience with their comments while you're on stage. We were doing Fences with the late Charlie Robinson, man. And we were doing it in a decent theater. It wasn't like a 300, 400 seat theater, but it was still pretty nice sized theater. And man, every time Troy did something wrong, the roles or whatever, you could hear them sisters in the audience go, "Oh no, he didn't." Oh. So you get that immediate gratification, and it's all a part of it. Us giving to them and them giving back to us.
Nice. I love that. I remember I was speaking to someone doing a different interview, and he said that's what he loved about theater because it is that they let you know if you entertain them. Right. And he said there's no greater feeling because it's a two-way street. You were there with me, you saw my tears, I saw your joy. He said, but when it's television, it's a one-way street because, okay, it's edited, it's produced, you watched it, and that's it. You, the viewer, are great, but it's something different. It's like a more intimate connection.
I did this play called North on South Central about 20 years ago now, man. It's been a long time. And my character was a villainous gangster. And every time I come out for my curtain call, the audience would boo me. And that was the greatest thing, man. That was the greatest thing. And then, they would come backstage, the stage door, one lady said, "Oh, I hated you so much," And I was like, "Thank you." And that's what, I'm bringing a fictitious character to life and trying to breathe life in him. But even if they hated me, that meant that I moved them, that they liked me. It was something about me that moved them, So I just enjoy it, man.
Nice. I love that. Now let's go back to Mr. Johnson. When you went for this role, when you went, for me, it's like having an exclusive conversation with someone who everyone loves. Did you know you were going to get this role when you auditioned? Was that one where you were like, oh, this is me?
No, man, I told someone this the other day. I've developed this muscle. You develop this muscle where you kind of leave it there. You leave the audition. It takes a long time for an actor to get to that point, but you get to a place where let's say you got 3 auditions a day or something. The first one is done. You're going to the second. By the time you get to the third one, you've forgotten about the first 2. And so with this particular audition, because it was during COVID too, we shot it, and I just kind of forgot about it, man. And then my wife, who's a manager, said, "You got that job." I said, "What job is that?" She said, "The janitor." I said, "Janitor? What janitors?" And she's because it was a couple of weeks, and then the school. Oh, okay, and it had a different name at the time too. So I got it, and I went to wardrobe, and the director. The wardrobe lady put me on her cell phone. She said, "The director wants to see you dance." And so I danced in the dress, whether in wardrobe. And next thing you know, they said, "See you on the set." Now, in the original, I had to break dance and do all this stuff. Of course, they had a stunt double for all that stuff, but I had to break dance, and a lot of it made the cutting room floor. And but man, I didn't know, based on the role. I knew it was good. I knew it was, I read the whole script. I said, "This is really, really good." But you never know, man. You read some stuff you think is really good, and it doesn't see the light of day. And then they put out that first trailer where I'm telling the kids, "This is who runs the world. Illuminati is on the blackboard." And I said, "Oh my God, oh my God, this is something really, really special, really special, man." And it just kind of took off from there.
Nice. How do you bring him to life? Or is Mr. Johnson Mr. Davis at the same time? Stan is Mr. Johnson. Stan is like, am I really looking at Stan play Stan?
There's everything that a human being can be in every human being. So there's some parts of Mr. Johnson in me, but he's an enigma, man. He's like, just when you think he's coming at you one way, he does a left turn. He does a slick move and comes at you a whole different way. Yeah. I think he cares a lot about the school. He cares a lot about the children. More than anything, he wants to make sure that they have, heat and lights, and the snow is shoveled, and that because it's an underfunded school, so he's trying to make it the best environment possible. Now the teachers, that's a whole different thing, That's a whole other thing for me, But man, it's been such an enjoyable experience, such a phenomenal success. This piece, and I'm loving every minute.
Nice, I love that. Look, about 5 more minutes. I always like to be conscious of everybody's time. With this level of newfound, I don't want to say success because you've been on big productions. You've been in different things. You've been in tons of stuff. With this new level of recognition, I would say, from a massive standpoint, where people now identify you with a character. I had an interview with Anna Marie Horsford about, Friday, and she was like, "I would have never thought playing Craig's mama was going to be that role that everybody remembers me," right?
She does so much in the other roles.
And for you, what does that mean? Like that, this is the role that the role that takes everybody to a new place is the guy who comes with a one-liner, who comes with, you steal the scene with just one line, which is not hard, which is not easy for everybody because it's body language, it's delivery.
Well, it has to do with great writing also. We have some great writers, and I just try to find that part in me. You know, if this doesn't make sense, then to me, then it doesn't make sense to Mr. Johnson. You know what I mean? You know, in terms of I have to find those places. But it's really about the great writing, and I try to take everything that's not Stan. Let me reword that. Everything that is Stan, I try to erase it from Mr. Johnson, you know, and just let him speak. And hopefully, and the other thing is, man, the fans let you know. It's almost like doing a play with social media because the fans let you know immediately, man. And I just want to thank them. They fall in love with this character, and I fall in love with them.
Nice. You talked about like social media and the fans. It's different than when you first started, right? Because we would have to wait for something to come in the newspapers or in like, the printed magazines. And then it went to like, you wait for the article to come online. But like social media is now so instantaneous. Like you can see people talk about you right, like as the show was going, it's like in real time.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's totally different. Auditioning, everything about the business has changed because of social media, because I'm talking to you on this computer, we're on Zoom. That's a whole new way of communicating. Yeah. And with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, man, they let you know immediately. You come in foot dragging, they're gonna let you know, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's good too, because it gives us immediate interaction with the fans. We can talk to them. We can listen to their suggestions, even though we may not take some of their suggestions because we get some pretty wild ones. But it gives you a chance to interact in a more immediate, and they let you know how they feel. They're very honest about it.
Nice. Before we go, you do teach and you teach, and you've taught a lot of different up and coming actors, actresses we've seen on film, people. As a teacher, what is something that you really like to instill in actors that are trying to make it, that are feel like they're having blockages, that are, just feel like they're not being able to connect? Because it's hard, because when they're auditioning, you never know why someone didn't want you. It's not like it's not like you get your review card at the end, like, hey, so Stan, what you didn't do, you're just like, it's
we thought, at least I thought in the beginning, you would get feedback all the time, but you don't. It's just you didn't get the gig, and that's part of developing that muscle. What I would tell young actors, man, first of all, it's only about the work. It can't be about getting a job. It's about developing your craft. And I tell actors, if you're not doing the work, or you're not doing the work, you get in a play. Get in a good class, get in a good workshop, somewhere where you can get up and work on your craft constantly, because it's like being an athlete. It's like being an athlete, man. They train year round, so they go out. So LeBron can go out and slam dunk from the top of the key. You know what I mean? So don't worry about getting the gig. Work on your craft, and the gigs will come. If you build it like in a Field of Dreams, if you build it, it will come. If you build your craft, everything else will come to you. So that's the one thing I would tell you. If you're going to work in Los Angeles, two things you got to have as a young actor, and this is kind of off the subject, but it's real. You got to have a car. You got to have a car to get to auditions. You got to have a car to make the appointments on time if you book the gig. And you got to have a job to sustain you, because, man, this town is tough. It's expensive. And you need to be able to survive it. You got to be able to survive, missing car payments, or having your lights turned off or something. I mean, these things happen. They've happened to me, So if you really love it, you can't quit. If you really love it, the only thing that matters is the work.
Thank you.
The only thing that matters is the work.
I love that. I love that. Well, look, we are done. I'm great with this, with everything that was said. Thank you so much again for this opportunity, Stan. I was like, the other person had a great time too, speaking with me.
Great. I've enjoyed this. I hope to see it, your finished product.
Thank you.